Hey there YouTube, this is Danny Silva with Silva Designs, coming to you with a little sketch cover commission. This is a Batman number 29 blank variant, and my buddy Tivo, who runs the Lords of the Long Box channel over on YouTube, you should check it out. He requested the Zoot Suit Joker and the Batmobile doing some lowrider shit, so I felt obliged to get it done for him. Took me a while, so he was very patient, but yeah, so here we go. Basically, this was penciled prior to starting this video, because sometimes what'll happen with commissions is I like to send the pencil versions or rough sketch to the client for approval prior to completing the entire thing. And sometimes that could take a while for the client to get it back to me, or the other side of it is I have projects going on all the time, and sometimes I can't do any commissions until I get a bunch of projects done, and that's what happened in this case. I penciled it a while ago, and just finished with my last trading card set for a little while, which was Star Trek: The Next Generation. So yeah, so this was kind of one of those commissions that I needed to get done, and I appreciate my buddy for being real patient. So anyway, yeah, you're seeing I start off with the pencils, and then I'm using Copic markers, the Copic multi-liners, and I think I have some, yeah, I have Pentel brush pens. I have a couple of them. I have them loaded with black and a gray wash. So yeah, so I'm kind of just going in and inking, doing my inking. I believe the sizes of the multi-liners I use regularly are 0.1, 0.3, and 0.5. I use the 0.5 a lot just because you can make a nice thick line with it. But you can also use the edge of the tip because it's got kind of a flat tip. You can use the edge and you can get some pretty fine lines. You can get probably a 0.1 or a 0.3 out of it, depending on how rough how long you've used it and stuff like that, how new it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll also be using, again, Copics, and I think I use a little bit of acrylic paint. It's called Manga Deleter ink, which is basically a white acrylic paint. You'll see that toward the very end. I like to use that particular brand to kind of cover up or do white highlights, because you can actually color over it after you've laid it down. It's kind of like liquid paper, but I like it a little better. It's not as clumpy as liquid paper. It kind of goes on a little bit smoother, and you can dilute it with water and so on and so forth. So it reminds me a lot of like acrylic, but it's not as water resistant as acrylic. So you can see here that I've done the Zoot Suit with, I believe it's in Copic numbers, it's BV04 and BV02. I start with the darks, and then kind of lay those down, and then go back over with the lighter colors, just to kind of blend them in. As long as the colors are really close together in the color wheel, then it's not you're not gonna have any streaking or anything. You're gonna have a pretty smooth transition. If you're using two colors that are pretty far apart, which I do sometimes because I don't have all the Copic colors that I would like, sometimes I'll go in with the light color, get it really wet, go in with the dark color on top of it, and then blend back in with the light color again, and that'll give you really nice smooth transitions if you're using colors that are kind of far apart on the color wheel. So yeah, those are the purples. I use, as far as the greens, I like to use pea green, I don't know the number offhand, moss green, yellow green, sometimes chartreuse, but that's rare. I don't really need that too often. And yeah, black Copics, things like that. So I'm going in there and kind of detailing the Batmobile here, just with some black, and then I like to use blues Instead of just doing black and then going with grays, if you read comics, then you've seen this before, that a lot of comic colorists will they'll use blue instead of just grays, so that kind of sets it apart. So that way, if you're using grays in the picture itself, then it kind of separates itself and doesn't look flat. So decided to throw in some clouds in the background here just to kind of keep it simple and open, so that way the background's not too busy, doesn't take away from what you're looking at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Since I had it sketched out previously, I kind of knew what I was going to do, so this was pretty fast. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and add dialogue to this video because someone asked me to. Jack Booth, this is for you. I'll go ahead and I'll continue to do more dialogue if I can. And last thing here is just the highlights. So I use a white, like I said, I use the Deleter manga ink, and I also use a Jelly Roll white gel pen. So and then a lot of times you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm adding a thicker line around certain areas just to kind of bring it out. They tend to get washed out after you color over them enough. So that's it. Let me know if you guys enjoy the dialogue, or if you hate my voice and you'd rather it just be simple. If you'd like the videos longer, let me know that too. Yeah, but I tend to get impatient, so I like to go through them real quick. But I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.